live streaming is on.
Well, greetings and welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I will be your host this evening. And we usually get together every Monday and Friday evenings, starting Pacific time at 6:45. So if you want to come in here live and you're watching a replay, that's when you want to come on in. So here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes. We talk about sport flying, competition flying, and what you did in your shop or what you've done at the flying field lately. Maybe you've done a new maneuver or have some difficulty with that. Now, to join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com. And when you register, you must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. Also, you must use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunt Hangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just want to enjoy watching us, that's great. Watch us on YouTube, and please participate by putting your comments and questions in the chat box. I will include you in the conversation. And if you also would be inclined to join, we actually have a YouTube membership starting at $4.99 a month, and that's like less than 17 cents a day. And you're getting great information, great entertainment. And with that subscription, you also have access to the replays of the members-only videos. And also, once a month, Sparky likes to do a Q&A, and you can ask him questions there about, finishing, the paint, the sanding, the preparation, building, how he does things, and maybe why he doesn't do things. You can also learn from what a person doesn't do as well as what they do, right? So let me get the show started. I got in a little bit late, and I want to get to the link so that anybody wants to come in, they'll be able to get in. So I'm going to post that link now, and I'm looking to my other monitor to post the link. So I hit the post button, and it's pretty snappy tonight, so hopefully we'll have a good stream. I did have a few problems Monday with my internet provider. It kept losing connection, but I believe the broadcast went on without a hitch. I think it's I haven't watched the whole thing, but what I did see looked pretty smooth. So, all right. Well, I have a couple on the chat box. Hey, Gerald and Charlie. Hey, thanks for coming in, and Merry Christmas to you guys also. And Tom Rammel, Merry Christmas to you also, Tom. You're not going to come in, you guys? And Charlie Williams, I don't think you've ever come in. Hopefully you are a member of Stunt Hangar, and it's just a matter of clicking our hang on a second. A couple on the chat box. Okay. Hey, Gerald. I'll just check and see if you can hear me. I can't hear myself. Normally I hear myself while I'm broadcasting. Let me see what's going on here. Just bear with me and my volume. And I heard that. I can't hear me. I'm unmuted. Well, I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's there. The link's there. Okay. Yeah, the link. Can you guys get in? I wonder if I posted the link incorrectly. That looks a little bizarre. Let me try this again. What is going on? All right, it's just bear with me. I'm trying to figure this out. Well, it'd be helpful if you guys can tell me if you can see the link, if you can get into the program. I believe I posted the link incorrectly. Yeah, I got the link for the rerun, so pardon me. Let me do a new link here. Oh well. Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't post the link right, so let me post this link here. Oh, let's see here. Okay. Mistakes. What would we do, huh? Wouldn't learn anything. Let me see here. So there. I gotta fix the link, so just bear with me. Wish I could go to commercial right now, but well, thanks, Tom. Yeah, you're saying that you can hear me. Great. I'm gonna repost the link. I didn't post it correctly the first time. I saw something in the at the bench, but it's not correct. So just bear with me here. So that's that. Okay. So we will be off and running before you know it. This is the first time I have done that. So hopefully it'll be the last time I've done this. Okay, let me go to okay. Let's see here. Let me just change the date on this here, and I'll be right with you. I'll be. Let's see. I got to get the right date in there, right? Just a few seconds here, and I got something decent I can post. Okay. Alrighty. So it's on its way to the Stunthangar forum at the bench. Link should be there now, and then you can click on that link and come on in. Yeah. So the link says Stunthangar Video Hangouts Friday, 12/25/2020. Click on that one, and like normal, and you should be able to come on in. So let's see. Okay, so I'm not sure where I was at before I discovered the error of my ways. Yeah, the date is wrong. Well, not only was the date wrong, the whole thread was wrong, Tom Rommel. That's why there was no link there. But it should be good now. Okay, so anyways, today I was listening, and I guess the other days, as much as Sparky's been on, I've tried to watch the development of that new plane. I think it's called Mega Tucker or Mother Tucker. It's the big Tucker, basically. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah, I had a mistake. I thought I posted the link, and I posted something with no help to you guys or gals. Hey, Gerald.
Come on, let's be real. No gals here.
Well, you know, I'm just being hopeful. One day we'll have some women. That'd be great.
That'll be
Hey, what's up,
wonderful.
Jeff?
Yeah. Yep. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Charles.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you, Gerald. Yeah, I was just commenting on Sparky's plan. I know you've seen some videos, Gerald. I saw you in there, but have you Tryanne or Jeff seen Sparky's latest build?
Yes, I did.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke up someone's dress. I mean, I really think that plane is really something special. I love it.
No, I didn't. He did a nice job on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then, you know, I can't wait to see when he puts the clear on it. I mean, after he does some, I mean, it's already beautiful right now, but imagine he's going to put some panel lines and then clear dope. You know, it's gonna set it off.
Yeah, I was listening to Florida talk the other night. I guess it's Jim was talking the other night about using automotive paints. He's given away all my secrets, man, about coming up with light finishes. If you over reduce the urethanes, they're as light as those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't used urethane, and I've only used some Brodak dope. I'm hoping to do more of that. Hey, Peter, Merry Christmas.
Here's my buddy Peter. What's going on, Pete?
Yeah, hey, Merry Christmas. Yeah, I just sent you a text message, Charles, because your last post before this one didn't have a link in it.
Yeah, I know. I was talking and expecting you guys to come on in, and then I go, something's not right. So I started looking around, and I saw that I copied and pasted the wrong information in that box. So that's the first time. Hopefully, it'll be the last time.
Well, on the other hand, Charles.
Hang on a second, guys. Hang on, you guys.
Hey, here's Sparky.
Hey, Sparky. Let me catch up on the chat box. Hang on. So then Craig goes, "Hey, Charles, and all the gang there. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year." Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody out there. And Greg, thank you so much. Got a $30 super chat there. I appreciate that immensely. I think, Greg, that is my very first super chat. So I appreciate it extraordinarily. Thank you for showing me some love, and that I can, help Sparky with this program. So, and Sparky's been getting lots of love. Sparky was getting all kinds of super chats this weekend and this week. So that's awesome that I finally get something. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I know Sparky really appreciates it also. Now, Montana Farmer says, "Hey, Merry Christmas, fellas." And Merry Christmas, Montana.
Hey, Sparky, awesome. May I be the first one on the show to tell you that I think your airplane is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And I was going to say to Sparky to get the ugly thing off the screen because of just
yeah.
It's beautiful, Sparky. No, it's beautiful. It's nice. Very nice.
Let me make it big so our audience can see it a little bit better. That's what we're talking about. That is a beautiful airplane.
Yeah. You did a great job on that. It's very nice.
I love the open cockpit on it. Nice lines.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. I love the open cockpit too. And just like imagining now, when it comes time to clean that pilot, he's going to need a Q-tip.
Yeah. So I guess Sparky is not worried about it too much, huh?
I like the fact that the paint job is nice and simple, yet it's like it's in your face. It's gorgeous. It's a great paint job.
And one guy said, "I don't like that paint job." Okay, whatever. Can't please everybody.
No, you can't please everybody.
No, you cannot.
Hey, whoever that was, if you didn't like Sparky's airplane, you're not going to like any of mine. That's for sure.
That's kind of comical that somebody doesn't like the paint job, because if you don't like my paint job, well, who cares?
I like it. You say I like my own paint job because I picked it, so it's good for me. So I don't care what you like or not.
Well, that's pretty much the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sean?
of course. Yeah.
It's your classic racer design. I mean, it's there's nothing not to like about it.
I mean, come on. Where did you come up with the Dr. Pepper design? Really?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that all he drink? Well, he's drinking water tonight, but a lot of times he drinks Dr. Pepper. When I was hanging around with him at the Nats, I remember him getting, 6 packs of Dr. Pepper. Didn't want to get short.
I got a Dr. Pepper hat, a Dr. Pepper shirt, a Dr. Pepper jacket.
See, I'm one step behind Sparky because my airplane would say Guinness or Budweiser.
Budweiser's paint job would be pretty complicated.
No, Guinness would be really tough. Budweiser would not be too bad. All it is a bow tie. Then again, I'm also a gearhead. I'm a Chevy fan, so I was thinking maybe I'll put a bow tie on it.
Yep.
I would like to see like a Cadillac.
Oh, that would be that's not an easy logo to do.
Oh yeah, that would be. Yeah, we'll have to do a bunch of gold leaf and stuff like that, or silver leaf and combination of thereof. That would be just, or maybe shouldn't be too hard. You know what I'm thinking? To do the Cadillac, you do a decal in the center, and the outside you make a gold leaf, and it should be fine.
No, Train, it's real easy. You could do it with you could do it with silver and tequila candy and black for shading.
Uh-huh.
And you could do it that way.
Okay.
Maybe white. You might need a little bit of white for highlighting, but black for shading.
I can see the logo emblem.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that logo, that emblem rather.
Yeah, just the emblem. You know, there's a big emblem like Sparky has the Dr. Pepper. So significant. I would just have it like Cadillac.
Yeah, you build a plane from scratch.
I was sharing with you the other day. My next paint job is going to be the F1 Mercedes inspiration.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have like the green, the all green elevator with the Petronas on it. There's gonna be stars on the back with the AMG behind the canopy. Petronas in white on the back of the fuselage lower. You have that wavy teal kind of lines underneath it on the back of the fuse. In a nose, I'm gonna have the emblem, the Mercedes logo on top of the teal nose. So yeah, I think it's gonna look cool, totally cool. And I also think about doing some ghost colors on the wings, on do the star in ghosts, like a. Anyways.
Is that the Hamilton car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
That's right. I was going to ask Becky, what was the difference in the amount of time?
Uh-oh. You're cut out.
Whoops.
Oh, well.
He was probably asking about the difference between the Hamilton's car and Boda's cars, but basically just the number on them. One is 44, the other one is, I don't know, 77 or something like that.
What?
The difference between Hamilton's car and Boda's car and the Mercedes AMG team is just a number.
I don't know.
That's Formula One, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have time to watch that. I only have time to watch
the sponsors would be
everything else going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll talk about model airplanes, right?
Yes, sir. I'm talking about paint job for him.
Let's talk about Sparky's airplane.
Very good.
Yeah. So I told you last time that I was, was practicing, and now I'm trying to visualize a bigger pattern.
Right.
Because I need to get it right size. So when I go out and fly, I visualize it and it's correct size, so I can just track it. And sometimes what I'm doing, I'm just doing this, and I have my triangle handy. I just do this.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
That's about right there. Okay, so I have to be about maybe So
I'm gonna copy that. I really am.
And I double check it. That's just like you can do it on your sitting on your butt, watching the TV or something like that.
No, Diane, I don't know if I think we talked about this in the after party. Do you mind explaining it all over again? Because I think the people out there really did not hear what we talked about after I stopped streaming.
So what I do when I fly, last time that I flew, people are telling me like, hey, you fly too small, you fly too small. So I was watching in the videos, when I enter the maneuvers, you can see it coming from the side, for example, on the outside the square. So you come at 45 degrees, but my 45 degrees is like 40 or even below that. So I was entering there in the maneuver, thinking that's my 45, and everybody tells me, like, you're flying too small, you're flying too small. And from my personal observation, I said everybody's flying way big, and maybe everybody's so used to seeing big maneuvers to the point that they think it's the new norm, right? So I said I'm going to put it to rest. So I'm going out flying, and I just put this on the top of my flying lines. So if your handle is here and you have the top and the lower line, you just fold a piece of paper like this. You just put it on top of the lines with the paper clip on top of it, and you can put another paper clip underneath here, so they don't fly around the lines like this. Or obviously, when you're moving, the paper wants to go back. So just keep them like that on the lines, the top and bottom. So when you go at 45, the bottom of the paper should be level. So I was kind of visualizing where the 45 is, and I was like, holy smokes, it's like it's in a different area code, not just higher, significantly higher.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, if I can do it at 30 degrees, if I can do the maneuvers at 40 degrees and below with ease, at 45 degrees, I'm going like, this is easy.
It's going to be much slower.
I'm turning, you just wait, and you just turn and just wait and wait and wait and wait for it to climb. I mean, I can read a book meanwhile. Are you there yet?
Exactly. It's going to be a game changer. I mean, it's going to make you so that you can make your corners. If you have more time to do it, you have more space.
Yeah, it's easier.
Allowing yourself to do it in.
Yeah, absolutely. It is easier. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And so some other times, you may want to do it on the ground before it even goes. Like visualize. I mean, how big is this supposed to be? Just is it this? Is it that? Is it that? And just put a circle in between them, right? So if you figure out. And another thing I'm doing is this. So this can also be used in a horizontal plane. So if you put it like this, you're opening because your hand is parallel to that, right?
Right.
So you go from here to here, right? So when you should be coming down over there as you come down and climb up,
Right.
And so you know this, and you also know. So make a mental picture of where your hand is. You're coming down there, right? So that's where you're coming down, coming in. So now you know where you're coming down here, right?
Right.
So by just knowing this, that center, and this other direction, and you have them correctly as you are flying, you can even judge pretty accurate. So you have your 45, about that much. Yes, let's see. Double check. Yeah, perfect, right there. So you have a 45 level. You have a 45 in this direction. Yeah, that's correct. Straight, 45 in this direction. Right there.
Yeah.
And that's correct. So you have your coordinates exactly where you want to have them. Now, all you have to do is just put it together. Just put your plane spot on them, and make sure you follow the tracks in. That's kind of what I'm doing. Now, I'm also transitioning from what I call instinctive flying, like following the plane, kind of flying, to visualize the track and put the plane on a track, kind of flying.
Why don't you just look ahead of the airplane and just fly the airplane where you're supposed to fly it?
That's what he's doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like you visualize the path.
And it's taking you this long to figure it out?
Yeah.
Well, it's just not that easy, because remember, we're spinning around, and then we stop and get our placing. So it's not like we're standing looking one direction the whole time. It's
I guess I don't fly controlling either, but
yeah. But what I do try and for the degrees of the circle is I put a perimeter of safety cones, and so I have some cones that I know are at 45 degrees. You follow me? Because if I divide my 12 cones, I actually have 4 quadrants.
How do you? I was thinking about that too, but the beef I have with that, I have to fill up my freaking trunk of the car with big fat ass cones. Then you run in a danger of hitting them. like I hit the toolbox.
No, I put them.
Oh, we never do that, right?
My drones are at about 90 feet out. My drones are at 90 feet radius.
I did that
So
one.
I fly and I have a center marker, and my lines are no bigger than.
Yeah, but how do you measure them? I mean, do you have a way to measure them? We have some spots already measured over there.
Well, actually, a good friend of mine has planted some flags into the grass where the lawnmower can still go over them. They have some stakes that drive the feathers in. And so we have it with feathers, but then I put safety cones over the feathers. And
okay.
So that's
so you know where they're at, right?
Right. Until some kids pull them up. We've had some kids have had nothing better to do than to pull up these the same feathers you'll see in a construction site.
Yeah.
Drive into the ground.
Little flags, yeah.
Like the one that when they spot your electrical conduit and whatever, when you do some work around the house, you have to do some digging. Are those the flags? Those like the really skinny ones with the big yellow or bright?
Well, the feathers, I think when they're new, they're about 10 inches long, really light material, and then the stakes are, 10, 12 inch stakes, and the feathers are somehow stapled to the stakes. But kids still find a way to pull them up. We drive them down with a hammer, but
yeah. So yeah, it's a great idea. What can I say? Anything works. As long as you do that. I'm trying to visualize what I'm trying to do. I'm visualizing my step. For me, it's if you just look at the plane and you follow the plane with your eyes like this as you are flying, right? You lose all perspective of where it was before, right?
Yeah.
But if you visualize a circle and just focus on the circle and just watch the plane tracing the circle, right? Like Ted Tancher was saying one time and that's where I got my idea from. He said, when you draw on a board with a chalk, you never look at the chalk. You don't look at your hand. You look where you want to go.
Oh wow!
Right?
Great example.
So that's his example. So basically, you visualize a circle on a board, and then you take a chalk and just put it on a circle. When you're going to trace a fairly nice circle.
Yeah.
And if you want to trace another one, you can just as long as you don't move your perspective, you can trace another one on top of it, and trace another one on top of it, and trace another one on top of it, right? And you can keep going like this forever, But you have to trace the correct shape, right?
Right.
So the idea is if you can visualize a loop that's this big, right? One is this big, one is this big, or which one is the right one, right? So as long as you visualize the right shape, then you just the matter of like what I'm doing. I'm kind of I'm looking on the background and kind of visualize the shape, and I'm just going to put the plane over there. I don't even look for bottoms or anything. I'm just looking at the shape because the shape it's in position. As long as my plane tracks the shape, I'm not going to hit anything. And if you are scared of that, you can just visualize it. Just move it a little bit higher.
That's true.
That's what you have to do. Just move it a little bit higher, get used to it, Or if you're not sure if you're or high or low, instead of flying whole patterns, which doesn't teach you jack, For example, you can fly half a loop. Just go like this, half a loop, stop. Double check, right?
Yeah, I think that's a terrific idea, Tryon.
All right, and then you come back, you come back, fly, maybe it needs higher, over there. And now you make a mental picture. Okay, this is my loop. It has to be there, right? So now I visualize a circle. So okay, I know where to go now. Boom, and you got it. So
yeah, that is a terrific idea. I want to make I got to do some house cleaning here. Montana Farmer says stake chasers. Okay, I think it's regarding my feathers. And then he says on a 16D nail. And that's probably what they are. I just didn't know what they are. Thanks, Montana Farmer. And Montana Farmer also said that he missed Sparky's stream today, but his plane is awesome. He knows how to lay paint. And so did you hear that, Sparky?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm listening. I'm just taping.
So
Halo.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
So, are you gonna paint? The question for Sparky: How you gonna deal with the paint inside the canopy? Usually, in front of the cockpit, everything is black, and it's just a flat black to reduce the glare. Typically, in any cockpit. Also,
It was painted before the canopy went on.
oh, so you already painted flat black, and it's already there, right?
No. It's white. Underneath the canopy is white. Inside the cockpit is black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. No. Anyway, so it's like, yeah. But it's beautiful, man. It's very nice. I like it. Whatever you do, don't do some ugly panel lines on it.
No, it's getting panel lines.
I said don't make ugly ones.
Yeah.
I see some panel lines, like for example, there was a, you see this Spitfire, right? And they put the panel lines on top of the ribs, and every single rib, and I'm going like, the real plane is not anywhere close to that, If you do a Spitfire, let's follow that.
Templates and put some toilets on it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do that. Yeah. But it has to be somewhat credible, like a real plane is being built. You have a leading edge sheeting, so you should have like a block, like it looks like a leading edge around the leading edge, right? And you have the panels. Now you don't have to put Zeus fittings on every four corners of every panel, because not every panel on the plane is removable. Those things don't make sense, right?
Good.
Hey, Trent, Sparky's pretty creative. I think he'll figure out a way to make it look good.
You ever see my Thunderbolt?
I'm sure he does, because I see the Junior XL over here in the picture in the background. It's beautiful. He knows how to do panelize, but I'm talking because I know a lot of people don't know how to put it as well. Or they do some silly stuff,
Sparky's done a pretty good job with this airplane. I think he'll finish it up just about right.
The complete playlist from March, or no, yeah, was it March? No, wait a minute. I don't know. It's only 9 months worth. It's taken me 9 months to build this. I just added all the videos into a playlist on the channel.
Yeah, you started that right after I started my Junkyard Dog. And I started my Junkyard Dog in January, so it was you're about March.
Mm-hmm. Sparky, are you gonna trace every edge of the of everything? You said something about tracing the edges. I'll probably just put a trace around the checkers with the black marker, but not around the yellow, the red, and stuff like the stripes.
It would look really good if I did that, but the more that I look at it, I mean, I've done it before. It's just going to be a whole lot of work that I'm not sure, because once you do one spot, you got to do it all.
Yeah, so I would stay away from that. Other than the checker on the wing, that's the only thing you probably want to define the edge of the checker. That's the only thing. Other than that, I would not trace any edges on the plane. I just put like the panel lines and that's it.
I don't need to define the checkers anywhere. It's all stenciled on there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey Sparky, I did appreciate your video on the airbrush spray guns the other day. That was quite informative.
The Grex?
Yeah, the Grex, the Grex, and I think you had an Iwata in there.
Yeah.
That was quite informative. Thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I made a mistake on the price of the Grex. The basic gun is $200.
Yeah, I know. I bought one. They're a great gun, though. You can't go wrong using it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have all the add-on features, the spray nozzle and all that other stuff.
Did you get the fan tip or did you get the straight tip?
Fan.
Yeah, the fan tip it took me a minute to figure out how to use it, but it works pretty good. I like it. And is yours a side feed or a top feed?
Top loader.
Oh, you got the gravity. Okay, all right. Yeah, that works.
Guys, I need to interrupt. Let me get some housekeeping done here. Eddie Sutter says flying control line is like golf or bowling. Everyone has a different style, but achieve the same results. Not everyone does the same. And then Montana Farmer says, question for Sparky. How do you blend your masking lines? Does the clear coats do that?
Blend the masking line. I use blue flat line tape that leaves a real crisp line, and when I put clear over it, sand it, you won't be able to feel them.
And you also put very little paint at the same time, so you don't have much of a ridge in there, anyways.
Right.
Sparky, you spray with dope, right?
Yeah, I use dope.
Yeah, I use urethane, and urethane usually sprays a little bit thicker. But I've found that in my own trials and errors that it can be a lot heavier, but if you do it right, or do it my way, it can be lighter.
Yeah,
maybe not
tell me
lighter.
that you get a 6-ounce finish with urethane.
I've done an 8.
On how big an airplane?
50-inch.
Yeah, this is 60. And
no, I've never built a 60. I have no idea what it would be.
It's gonna be 12-ounce, 10 to 12-ounce finish. I played the urethane game.
No, the urethane for me, being here in California, it's easier for me to buy urethane paints, and I can get a ton of colors, and it's easy to get. So I can do water droplets. I can do flame jobs. I can do whatever, and it doesn't really matter. And if it's a little bit heavier, the way I fly, I mean, I'm not a competition flyer. I'm a fun flyer.
That's all you need. Yeah, all depends what you need, what your goal is. Yeah, absolutely.
And if my airplane weighs 10 pounds and gets off the ground, I'm happy.
Well, urethane looks a lot better for less work.
No, yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean,
flows out nice.
I wish, speaking of urethane finishes, when Jim was sharing the other day that what he does with putting some kind of urethane kind of thing on a paint or on a bare wood and wipe it off and lightly sand it and does it again. I wish he told me that before, because it will save me a lot of grief and a lot of work now.
Well, as soon as you spray urethane on a wood and wipe it, it's going to go everywhere.
I was not going to use urethane. I was going to use epoxy, MGS, what I usually use.
I've never tried that. I would have no idea how that works.
So what's he doing? He's taking urethane and spraying the wood and then wiping it all off so it seals?
Yeah, it just seals in and fills in the little cracks and voids and stuff like that. It's like a filler and a...
That's the same thing I do with the Z-epoxy finishing method. Put it on.
Same thing. Yeah. Sorry, Sparky.
Wow.
I keep dropping out. I must have a poor connection. So what I might do is I'll bid everybody a good night, and I'll head off. But
Gerald, you had a question though, Gerald. When you had a question, then you went away.
Well, I think I dropped out at some point, but I was just going to ask what the ratio was. I think Sparky's talked about it before, really, but the ratio of build time to finishing time, and I think it was something like 5 times as much time building than it was finishing. I mean,
the other way around.
Yeah, it takes more time to finish than it does to build.
Yeah, because you have to wait.
Oh yeah, your finish is going to be at least 5 times your build time.
Yeah, I often just finish with simple materials. I'll often use a acrylic enamel paint, especially on the boys' planes if they're working on them, and then just go over it with a 2-pack clear just to seal it and field-proof it. So that way it is quick, but you don't have a nice finish. You can't polish it. You can't polish acrylic enamel, and you're just relying on getting a good surface down the clear, hiding everything.
Acrylic enamel.
Yeah.
Now you're 3 times the weight of. Now you're 3 times the weight, because if you go with the urethanes, you're twice the weight of dope. If you go with the acrylic enamel, you're 3 times the weight of dope.
Yeah,
Acrylic enamel is really heavy.
Yeah, but often you only need one coat. One coat will do it, and then after you've got one full opaque coat, then you just really have to put one coat of clear on. Or sometimes I'll leave off the clear and I'll just do the centre section and the fuselage in the acrylic enamel thing, field-proof for used fuel, but just raw fuel. Wherever it gets raw fuel, you have to field-proof over, but otherwise you can leave a good chunk of it in its natural state. So that's what I've used for a lot of the boys' planes where they've knocked them off quickly, and then it means to repair it's relatively easy as well because it's a one-part finish to repair it and spray over any field-proofer at the end. But that's what
Acrylic enamel is naturally fuel-proof, but it's heavy.
It is, yeah. But it is fairly opaque. It's lots. It's a bit like acrylic. It's hard to spray though. That's the problem. I'm always clogging the gun. It's always clogging. Whereas if I'm using dope or a lacquer, then you don't get the same problems. The thinner seems to dissolve the paint better. With acrylic enamel, it's very hard to get the paint out of the gun once it's clogged, and you have to mechanically strip it often to get all the paint out. So
can you still get lacquer down there?
Yeah, it's getting hard to get lacquer. Very hard.
We haven't been able to get lacquer in California since 1981.
Yeah, it's a solvent.
Where do you think Randolph dope is made?
Randolph dope is in San Diego.
Right. What do you think it's made of? Lacquer.
It's made of lacquer.
Yeah.
Lacquer.
Yeah, but it's also
in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to buy Randolph dope, you have to be sponsored by Wix. I call them when it's great paint. I bought a pint of it. It's expensive though.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I can buy House of Color cheaper than I can buy Randolph.
Wow. Not saying something.
Yeah, I can get the Randolph dope here. It has to be sea freighted. It can't be air freighted in. So there's often a long stand down. You might be waiting months to get your paint. So
going all the way to New Zealand, that must cost you about $180 a pint.
Oh no, I get it through. There's a lady that does aviation supplies, and she can get most of the dopes and some coverings and the spruce from that company that does spruce. But it all takes time, and she tries to put together a good order of materials before she brings it in. So yeah, you can get it, but it often takes a long time. Right now, our balsa supplies are terrible. It's very hard to get balsa here in New Zealand, but I gather that's a worldwide problem. Everybody's having trouble getting balsa.
Okay, how do you paint? How do you put your paint on? Do you use an airbrush? Do you use a spray gun? Use a paintbrush?
Normally a touch-up gun. Hi, Steve.
Hey.
Steve.
Steve Owens, what's going on?
Not too much.
Gerald, how do you paint? Do you use a spray gun?
Normally, I'll use the spray gun for bigger areas. Otherwise, I use my touch-up guns. I've got a gravity feed and a suction touch-up gun that I use. I've got an airbrush somewhere. I can't remember where right now, but I've got a small a suction feed airbrush. But most of the time I use a gun.
Use a Pache airbrush?
I had a basic Pache airbrush, but I normally use a dual action touch-up gun I use for automotive work. So I just pick up my automotive gear and use that normally. And so I've got a few different compressors and quite a few different automotive guns, and I just use the smaller guns for my airplanes. And so I've got a good supply of different acrylic paints that I use on cars, but just for convenience, that's why I've really used the acrylic enamel, especially with the boys, because they don't have any trouble spraying it. It's quite easy for them to spray. And if they want to do
The biggest problem I've ever had with the enamel paints is if you're spraying them on a vertical surface, they tend to run really easy.
Yeah.
Because they're too easy to put on too heavy.
Yeah.
Because they don't cover real good. What?
Frank, he paints with acrylic paint.
Yeah. I'll show you before.
You guys, I got some
Acrylic
housekeeping.
paint's not bad. You're talking about water-based acrylic?
Yep.
Hang on, Jeff and Gerald. Let me do some housekeeping. Philip Bailey, he says, "Merry Christmas, everyone." And then Montana Farmer says, "Thanks." I think it's to you, Sparky. And I want to let you guys know we've had 15 viewers and only 4 likes. So please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll get all our notifications to when Sparky's on or when I come on. And again, the super chats help. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's only $4.99 a month. That's less than 17 cents a day, and you have unlimited replays of these member-only videos, and plus the videos that Sparky produces. So we appreciate your contributions. Oh, thanks. It's got some more likes. Thank you very much. Keep it going. Just 10 more likes. Thank you. Go ahead, you guys.
Merry
Gerald,
Christmas,
is that
Bill.
an Electra?
Merry Christmas. Oh, that's what I've been using. It's a locally made paint. It's a acrylic enamel. They come in nice little convenient bottles like that. And that's like I've been using on my Thunderbird. I've been spraying that with it. And that's before I put the clear on it. So it dries very quick. It dries in like half an hour.
That looks very nice,
That's a
Gerald.
nice color.
Yeah, what color is that, Gerald? Is that emerald green?
Yeah, it's like an emerald green. But
kind of
I was going to do wings were going to go yellow, and I was going to do my
I mean marine looking green, not maroon, but marine.
Oh, the wings are here cut behind anyway.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I see it.
I think you need to build about 4 or 5 more models to cover up those empty spaces you got on the wall.
Yeah, Gerald. There's some more airplanes up there.
Yeah. No, my sons have got airplanes hanging off their walls, and there's even ones hanging in our bedroom too, and there's a large scale model hanging in the dining room. So there's models all over the house, and then when I go out to the garage, there's models in the garage. I think I've got all the models are out of my parents' place now, at least. But yeah, my brother's got all his models as well back at my parents' place.
I got you beat. I got 2 places filled with models.
Yeah, they take up a lot of space, especially large models. If you just built indoor models, little rubber models, it wouldn't be such an issue. But stunters tend to take up a lot of space.
Yeah, I got models in this room here, and I have a patio, and they're on somewhere in the patio closet, and I have my garage, and there's airplanes in there too as well. Yeah.
Now I got a question for Sparky.
Oh.
Where did you get that yellow case that you keep your paint guns in?
Amazon.
No kidding. That was an Amazon purchase?
Yep, it's Condition is the name of it.
It's amazing how handy Amazon can be. I do have to tell you, that airplane came out nice. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks very nice. Well, I'm going to vanish now. I need to go to the little man's room, the little boy's room.
Right.
What do you want to? And I'll bid you all a nice Christmas and a happy New Year if I don't see you before then. We'll go down to our national soon, and we'll have about a week away flying plane. So if I don't catch people before then, I'll bid you all well now, and I'll see you later.
Yeah, good luck,
Gerald.
Gerald. Thanks for coming in.
See you, brother.
Merry Christmas to Otto and Max and your wife.
Well, thank you, Charles, and Merry Christmas to all of your family too. Right?
Thank you.
All right, Steve, let's start messing with people.
Yeah, really. And you guys baseball fans?
Yeah.
No, we're talking
right.
about model airplanes tonight.
Yep.
We're talking about model airplanes.
All right. Well, okay. I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's see
Sparky.
how fast you can throw the baseball at Sparky's
Sparky, I
airplane
have a
and see how
question for you,
fast he
Sparky.
runs out of the circle to
Really?
beat you up.
Yeah.
Baseball season's been over for a few months now.
So, Sparky, you know what? I've been like going to myself, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I've been going, man, I could never paint a beautiful plane like that, you know? It's
Yeah,
like,
you could.
it's like, but I see, the only thing I have done is if I see something I like, I just copy it. I don't have the wherewithal to come up with. It's like, you know, how do you come up with a color scheme like that? I just like blows me away.
I just start taping.
Charles, I already showed you how to do it.
Yeah, but when I see a plane like this, I'm like going, oh my god, and not just one. I mean, he's done. I mean,
Charles,
No,
this
no,
is
no.
yeah, Charles, this is the hardest way to do I mean, because it's very hard.
I'm gonna mute your.
Sparky,
I'm gonna mute your mic, Sparky.
What?
Sparky's a
I'm
genius.
gonna mute your mic.
No, Sparky's really good at what he does. I mean, he's a great builder. He's a great painter. He's worked on Harleys. He's worked on hot rods. Sparky's done everything. He's a great dude.
Mhm.
But if you want to start doing something like that, draw a picture of it. It's real easy.
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
draw
well,
a picture of it.
Yeah.
I see. I agree. I just want Sparky to tell me when he gets done spraying. How does he do it? Does he draw it on a piece of paper? Because I don't see that part of the methodology. What I see is
I'll
I see him
tell you
starting
exactly how
right.
Sparky does it. Sparky does it. He takes a piece of tape and he spreads it out across the wing and says, I don't like that. He tears it off and he puts it back on. He says, that'll work. And then he works off of that tape line. That's how he does it. Because that's how I did cars. That's how I did bikes. I did the same thing. I painted cars. I painted bikes. You take a piece of tape and you lay it down, and if that's the way you like it, that's what you start working with.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah, but and also look at it. What Sparky does, it has a certain theme that he kind of follows over and over again. So, for example, if you look at even at the picture on our screen,
That's pretty fucking obvious, isn't it?
The Junar that has the same checker on a root, the same double stripe that tapers out, right?
Right.
And kind of flows over to the elevator and stuff like that. And this is just kind of like his style, is what he likes and stuff like that. So the only thing that seems to be changing maybe a little bit on a new logo, a new you know, the nose is kind of the same, the wing are kind of maybe different colors, different things. But what Sparky does, I think, works very good and it's very pretty, right? But I think it's very hard to come with something.
Hey guys, Tryon and Jeff, I appreciate you guys' comment, but how can you guys speak for Sparky? I mean, come on, Sparky, tell me. I've heard what these guys think you do, but I'd like to hear it from you, Sparky.
Well, this airplane, there were some things that this airplane is the Junar. It's the same airplane. It just has a different dress on it. So I took part of the Junar trim, like he said, the checkers going back, but these are wavy. I did the wavy checkers. The other ones are straight. I did the same stripes that's on the Junar on this one. But if you look at the nose of this one is like that one. So, you know, I just start taping it, and whatever looks good, looks good. And color combinations, I you know, mentioned something about a color wheel, and just get a color wheel and see what colors go together.
You know, once you put a piece of tape on it, if you don't like it, you just tear it off and start over, right?
That's exactly correct. I taped the nose out 4 times on this one.
I know, I watched you do it.
If it ain't right, it ain't right.
No, you gotta it's gotta feel right when you put it on there. And if it doesn't feel right, it's never going to look right. And it doesn't matter how many colors you put on top of it. It's got to be right. One thing I want to see you do, Sparky, I want to see you do a flame job.
I painted lots of flames on motorcycles.
I imagine you have. I imagine you have.
They just don't look good on airplanes.
Now they might look good down the nose if you did it right. I was thinking about ghosting one under some candy blue. I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be really heavy to me. It's going to be silver on silver with a candy blue over the top. So it's probably going to be pretty heavy. But who cares?
You're gonna do that. Paint the airplane silver, then paint gold flames on it. You know, ghosted gold flames with an airbrush, and then put candy blue over the top of it.
No, I was thinking about using silver with just basic for the base coat. I was going to use straight up silver metallic, and then I was going to use pearlized silver to do the flames, and then I was going to spray candy blue over the top of that.
Use gold; they'll ghost better.
Gold might show up more, but the pearlized silver will only show up in certain light.
I have a comment from Philip Bailey. He says, Charles, I'm with you. That's why I have 5 more airplanes to design a scheme for and 6 to paint.
I know Philip Bailey. All right, well, I got that done while I was sitting here.
Phil Bailey's a good dude. Wish
Yeah,
him
he's
a
at
Merry Christmas.
his granddaughter's enjoying his grandson.
So what you do there, Spark? Just touch it up a little bit?
Well, I mentioned that it really needed this line needed to be painted. You could do it with a brush, but
So, Sparky, is the bottom exactly like the top or a little bit different?
Exactly.
You swapped wingtip for wingtip, right?
Yeah.
And now that's quite the paint scheme right there. I like that.
So
I started with the logo.
Yeah. A easy way to come up with a paint scheme for a plane. I think number one, what I would do, I'll try to complement the shape of the plane. So if the plane has a lot of round edges and round wing tips and stuff like that, it's nice to have flowing round panel line pattern, right? No sharp corners, okay? So kind of if your plane like it's like an SV11 with sharp corners and stuff like that, it's best to make the lines breaking in a straight lines or something like that.
In other words, the stock smoothie paint job is not your favorite, right?
What?
Because
I
the
didn't say
stock
that.
smoothie paint job has a straight line and then a jagged edge off this elliptical wing.
Oh, well, I see what you're saying, yeah.
What I'm saying is that planes have a typical look to them, right? They might have elliptical wings, elliptical elevator, and an elliptical rudder, with the fuselage, this kind of roundish a little bit, stuff like that. It's nice to put flowing lines on them. Nothing would just breaks in straight edges. You make it roundish. So the other planes are kind of squarish, they have a nice sharp corner over the canopy, sharp straight lines everywhere. So it's nice to make a paint job that's kind of with straight lines. So what I like to do is, like you said, you have to draw it on a piece of paper, the fuselage and the wings and whatever, But what I would do first, I would start with the fuselage and make some kind of a paint scheme on a fuselage, whatever you like, right? And then try to transpose that on the wings. basic copy and paste with keeping some proportions over there. And you can do the same thing on the elevator. And almost always you're gonna have a nice paint job that's kind of balanced and looks nice and flows and kind of matches the plane. And again, and I'll probably continue even more. It's like if you go with flowing lines on a paint job, maybe when you put the lettering on a plane, has to have flowing lines, the same like a script type of font.
No, in
Now,
my opinion, when you start with the fuselage, you start with a lot of real thin lines, real narrow lines, and then you come out to the wing, and then you start with a lot of narrow lines that you got to keep straight, and then it looks just like a basic paint job. You're not gonna get a super chipmunk. You're not gonna get a cardinal. You're not gonna get a Sparky. You're not gonna get something like that if you start with the fuselage. You have to start with the wing, and you have to figure something
it's much
out.
harder. It's much harder to do it the other way around because you can come up with a lot of paint scheme for the wings, the shapes like that, but it's not going to match on a fuselage. It's very tough.
Then again, it all depends on what you want to look at.
Of course,
it's all a matter of opinion, and opinions vary.
Okay, I absolutely right with you, but I'm talking about there are people out there that don't know how to make a paint job. Period. So if you give them some kind of a recipe that they can follow and have success with it, that's the idea here. Yeah. Now, what Sparky does is super hard to do. It's easy to make a pattern and kind of copy the pattern throughout the plane, but it's very hard to do this unbalanced stuff where things kind of appear out of nowhere and just kind of start streaking across. You have you look at the Junar XL, it's very bright red and very whitish towards the tail. I mean, changes tremendously. There's another guy in California that used to make some beautiful paint jobs. He has this like kind of eye-looking kind of details on his planes, and then
you're talking about.
You're talking about Phil Granderson.
Yes, that's him. And he's got some beautiful paint jobs that are completely harmonious while they're completely unbalanced. Those are very tough to come up with and need a lot of creativity and artistic flair to do those, like Sparky does here, right?
The same place, right?
Huh?
Phil and I came from the same place.
I didn't know that. Yeah, but those type of paint jobs are super hard to do. But for the average builder that cannot come with a paint job if his life dependent on it, I think the easiest thing is just put your fuselage on a small scale on a piece of paper, draw some lines on it, whatever you like, transpose them into the wing, copy and paste, basically keep proportions, and you will always come up with a nice balanced paint job, right? And in addition to that, I said if you have like a Junar, an elliptical plane, don't put straight lines on it. Just put lines that go like this, kind of flow and go out, right?
I don't know. I think Charles has a pretty interesting idea. I think Charles has a pretty interesting idea with that. I don't know, what do you want to call it? It's a Strega.
I'll try to find it. I don't know if it's on this computer. I don't know it's on my other computer, but let me see.
I really want to do the paint job that he has in mind.
Yeah.
Just because it's just so out of line. It's just like, who would ever do this? I mean, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do it.
Wagon paint job?
Is it what?
A lumber wagon paint job?
Well, I'm going to put it
in a way,
put it on a lumber wagon. But it's pretty simple. I think it's simplistic. If I can find it.
It's precious metal paint job on precious balsa.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But it's not the actual precious
but you're
metal
gonna
paint job. It's some hobbyist who was going to build a precious model airplane, and that's the color scheme he came up for his model airplane he's going to build.
Yeah, but you're gonna do yellow and gray, right? Not yellow and chrome.
Right, yellow and gray.
Or polished aluminum.
But it's a simpler precious metal paint job. It's not as complicated as the precious metal shows. The paint coming off the plane. I mean, that's what the effect is if he's flying so fast, the paint is coming off.
I
So
would
that's
love
a really
to paint
complicated
that.
paint job, but this is a more simplistic paint job than that.
I would love to paint. I want to paint precious metal. I want to paint it. I want to paint it so it looks like it's flying off.
Looks like it's what?
Flying off.
Flying up?
Flying off. I want to paint it so it looks like the paint is flying off of the airplane.
Right. That's how the precious metal, the paint job that I like, paint scheme. I mean, that I like, the paint looks like it's coming off because the plane's going so fast.
If I paint your airplane, that's what it's gonna look like.
Yeah,
that is really beautiful. Isn't that the same as Miss Ashley, or is just a newer plane?
It's it's a P-51 Mustang, but it's a different paint job.
Yeah, but the Mustang never had the counter-rotating props and.
Right. Yeah, it has counter-rotating props, and I love the scoop right behind the ring, nose ring of the plane. I mean, there's a scoop right there, and that's what I'm going to put in my build as well. I don't think I can.
You're gonna do the chin.
No, it's on top, so I wouldn't call it a chin.
Oh, so it's over. I thought it was a chin. I thought it was underneath.
Is it a new plane or is this like an older one?
Well, precious metal is gone. It actually, I think it burned up in a fire.
Precious metal is a thing of the past.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Does metal burn?
Isn't 38 the same number as Miss Ashley?
Yeah, but I don't think it's 38. I can't, it's on my other computer. I got to get these computers synchronized.
Doesn't the number go to the pilot, not the airplane?
I think I have a paper.
No, it's the same plane. They both have the same number. I think the only difference between precious metal has 38 on it. It's kind of rotating props and stuff like that. Miss Ashley is the same thing, but I think they just changed the wings on it.
I think Miss Ashley has some clip wings. Her wings have been clipped.
No, Astra
there ain't
has
no wires sticking out of the wing.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Gray Ghost. I'm sorry. The Gray Ghost had clipped wings when it crashed.
But there's no wires sticking out of the wing.
Yeah.
It would take one big dude to hold that airplane back.
I think Miss Ashley had a Learjet wings and elevator on a Mustang fuselage with counter-rotating props and stuff like that. Actually, it's not much of a Mustang left in it.
And a 1.21 gigawatt flux capacitor, right, Trent?
Do you guys know what Van shoes are? Van tennis shoes?
Oh, yeah, I skateboarded all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Big, Steve, hang on. It's blurry.
What the hell are we looking at?
SH.
Yeah, back up. There we go. That's a little clear. What is that, like a guitar or a piano?
That's a piano shoe.
That's a tennis shoe that Samantha made it in the top 50 in the United States. She painted that shoe.
Wow.
Holy shit. Are you
kidding? It was a national contest. And awesome. She won Michigan. She got into the top 50.
Wow. Yeah, my kids did that too. They didn't get anywhere near the top. But here's
cool.
Here's the image that Jeff and I are talking about. Let me click on me and make me big here so I can show you the image.
Oh, Precious Balsa.
Precious Balsa is going to look something like this, you guys.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
I still want to paint that.
But I want to get appearance points, though. I have to paint it as I'm an honest guy.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
That's not that bad.
You bring it up here. You bring it up here. I'll give you the spray gun, and I'll fix everything up so you can do it.
And I'll go up. All right, let me see the tail. Go more up. Oh, that is gorgeous. I love it.
Yes. What do you think, Sparky? You like that?
Yeah, nice.
Very nice.
Different from what I had in mind, but okay, yeah.
How about the side view? We're gonna put that on
You know,
Australia
I
or
can't
what?
find a good side view of it. The side view I don't like. Here's the side view I have. I'm not really crazy about it.
No, it somehow just doesn't go with the top.
Mm-hmm.
The checkerboards suck, top and tail, bottom and tail.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to raise this, or is it perfect where I'm at?
No, you're all right.
Well, you going electric, huh, Charles?
No, that's just a scheme.
Shut up, Steve.
Well, he's going to do counter-rotating props, and that guy there in Europe
Steve, enough.
makes the counter-rotating props.
Enough, Steve.
You know, one day, but right now, the electric won't really. I know people have argued with me, but you know, I'm heavily invested in IC, and you know, I got issues with the pattern and stuff like that, and an electric's not going to change how I fly. I might get more practice and be able to fly other
Prop
places
deal, that'd be really
fly
cool.
right now. But
If you want counter-rotating props, call Randy Smith. He had the first counter-rotating prop on a PA.
Which was not truly counter-rotating prop.
No,
You were just windmilling off of the other prop.
One was the freewheeling. I think the front prop was freewheeling.
It was
Yes.
hydrostatic.
Let's
Exactly.
ask Sparky about going electric. How do you feel about that, brother?
I did that once and I'm done.
Amen, my friend. I love you.
I got a lot of electric shit sitting down there. Not for me.
If it wasn't for the smell of castor oil, I would not fly airplanes. And that Fox 35 that you sent me 2 years ago is still running amazingly well.
That's good.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, if you want to smell that, Klotz makes a candle.
yeah,
It
Go.
smells like fuel.
cloth is synthetic. It's not castor.
Yeah, but something they do with that, it smells like fuel burning.
Go
Mhm.
pound
But it's a different
sand in a big round hole.
I mean, I never
will
had it, but
burn
I know the
5%.
what it smells like.
I will burn 5% Fox fuel, or I will make my own. 5% nitro, 29%, and I will run Fox 35s all my life.
Yeah.
Okay, call me stupid, whatever.
No, spotting man.
Yeah,
Spotting
no,
didn't
I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna call you? I'm gonna call you a happy man that knows what he likes.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you know
all I
what?
saw it.
I build
they're
my
gonna make-
airplanes
they're
to
gonna make
fit
what-
my engines.
And if that's
They're gonna
what
make
you
the
like, and what's what you love, all your power,
You're going to
man.
make the 75th anniversary, and you can buy like 10 of them and have enough for the rest of your life.
Well, I hope everybody that gets really sick of Fox engines just says, "Hey, Jeff, hey, check this out. I got a free one for you." And then pretty soon I'll have 50 of them. I've already got 7.
Oh yeah, you only need 6 more planes to put them in.
I got
I need 2
guys.
more.
I got some housekeeping. So Philip Bailey says the rear prop is floating.
Yes.
I think we talked about the Randy Smith thing. And we're up to 5 likes. And please help us out, help us grow the channel. You know, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And the super chats are welcome, and the YouTube memberships as well. But I have 5 likes, and most of you guys average watch time's about 13 minutes. So that's why I come on repeatedly to say hit the like, please. So let's get the likes up, please. We're at 5, and I would like some more.
Well, I do have to admit one thing, Charles. I came on YouTube first, and I hit the like button, and then I subscribed down and went to Stunt Hangar and came here.
Hey,
Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome.
But I did hit the like button.
Thank you.
hey, Charles.
Yeah.
That picture, that drawing that you showed earlier.
Yeah.
From the top, it really looks good. And you said, you know, you really like the way that it looks like from the top, but you weren't thrilled the way it looks like from the side.
Right.
I've had that same. I've had kind of like the same thought. So what I would try to do if I share this, you can see what I did here. I did a pattern on the wing. I wanted the airplane to look like it was actually moving while it was not actually flying. I just wanted to give it an angular look.
Right.
So if you can see what I did is I took some of that wing detail
Right.
and I migrated it up onto the fuselage. So it looks like, so it kind of looks like that pattern that I have with the colors that I have going on the wings merges up into the fuselage and gives this almost like this backwards V type of a shape when you look at it from straight up and down. So you might want to take a look at that, the way those lines flow on the wing and where the colors join the fuselage, and try to move them also onto the top curve, onto the sides and the top of the fuselage. If you follow what I'm saying.
Oh, I do.
Hey,
I absolutely follow because Tryan said probably a year or so ago to me to do that. I have the fuselage match the wing or vice versa, and that's where that image that I showed is missing the mark because
What I would do with
no
that airplane,
in
Charles,
the fuselage and the wing.
Mm-hmm.
what I
Yeah.
would do with that design is split the colors. So the top half of the fuselage would be yellow, the bottom half would be gray, or the three colors that you're using on the wing. And you start at the spinner and you roll, you roll this way over the top of the wing and then down under.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I would do that. Yes.
Yeah.
So use all three colors that's on the top of the wing and just start at the nose, roll over the top of the wing,
Yep.
and then down under the rudder, and just three colors.
Will do.
and then put the Jack Daniels emblem on it.
Mm-hmm. So, Sparky, I have a question for you. What was the one thing? What turned you away from electric? Because I'm very curious.
My electric story starts out with Jeff Traxler. I flew his Barnstormer at the Nats one year, and I go, man, this baby's got some power. Well, it had a big motor, and it was a pretty light airplane. It had lots of power, and the delivery was good. But my electric airplane was, 40 some ounces, and it had lots of power, but I never could get the damn thing to groove. And every electric airplane I see has got that floating look to it. It's just not solid out there on the end of the lines. And the next thing is, when you're doing your overhead H, every one of them airplanes is out of gas at the overhead H, and they look kind of weak up there on the top. To me,
I
So
agree, brother. I agree.
Is it the same thing that happened to you? Or was this argument?
the next thing is with electric is, hey, let's go flying. Oh wait, I gotta charge my batteries.
Yeah, that's
Let's wait an hour. Now let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go flying. I gotta mix some fuel.
So I got 5 gallons in the back of my car.
I got 15 batteries.
I can
They're
mix
charged
fuel.
before I go to the field.
I can mix fuel in half the time you can charge batteries.
Yeah, okay. One thing that I've noticed that everybody puts too small in this 60 size planes. They put too small of a motor. A lot of them are using those Axis 2026s, which are
32s.
what?
You're also speaking Greek.
Yeah. Were you flying on 4-cell though, Sparky?
5-cell
Jesus,
Thunderpower.
there's another electric guy.
Oh, 5 cells.
What motor did you use?
I had a E-Flight 32.
It's too small.
Too small?
Yeah, way too small.
You're telling Sparky it's too small? Come on, dude. Really?
Yeah, 32 is huge. Bigger than what Matt Newman's using the 32 in his Stuka.
Okay, whatever.
That 32 has what, 660 watts?
I'm
Gives
not
a shit.
This is the new one I got for Christmas.
Christmas presents.
Weighs, I think, less than the 32. This only weighs 6 ounces.
But it's electric. Who cares?
This has 1,200 watts compared to that 32.
And you have to run
For
it
the
with a
same weight. What?
And you have to run it with a 1.21 gigawatt flux capacity.
Yeah,
You gotta
that's
have
true.
it.
I can run it on 5 6 cell, I can run 4 cell.
So
And
what?
that motor there, with the technology that has come since the 32,
But look at
is so much better.
But look at the way Sparky says. And you want to go flying? Yeah, okay. I got to charge batteries. Okay, what are you gonna do?
Here's another G.
Have them charged
770 kV.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have batteries charged sitting in my garage waiting to go flying.
All right, wait a second. Let's
They're
do a
gonna
race.
go
Let's
dead
take a
while
poll
I'm
right
sitting
now.
there waiting to go.
Let's take a poll right now. How many of you know they're gonna decide to go flying 10 minutes before they go fly?
Me?
Okay, so
I'm sure
so
Sparky
you
does.
say 10 minutes from now I'm gonna go fly.
I'm sure Sparky says his buddy
So
comes
it's
over
one
and says,
person,
"Hey,
right?
hey man, let's go flying." Sparky
How,
says, "All
how,
right,
how long
yeah."
does it take you to get to the field?
20 minutes.
If you put your charger in your car, hook the batteries up, by the time you load your car with your airplanes, drive to the field, your batteries will be charged.
That's
By the
too
time you
much
get there, your
work.
car's melted down and on fire.
It's too much work. I can just throw my bottle of fuel in the back of the truck and start my engine and
That's
go
neither here nor
flying.
there.
And then I get to smell the caster.
Hey,
Are you
Jeff,
serious? Let's go electric.
if you want to smell castor, go buy that damn candle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then you
yeah,
can
yeah,
smell it in your
that's-
house
oh, I
when you're
want it.
drinking.
Okay. Oh,
You don't even gotta get in your car or nothing else. You can just light the son of a bitch on your kitchen counter, chug beers or wine or whatever you want.
Yeah.
Smell your castor burning.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly electric to please you, and I'm gonna burn incense to please me.
There you
No,
go.
I think I'm gonna fly my Fox 35, Chief.
Yeah, but how often do you fly every day?
Nah, 2-3 times a week.
Used to.
I can light my candle every day.
Knock yourself out, Chief.
You know, okay,
The next time you
Can I-
fly, I hope you smell
Can I-
wires burning.
this is what happens for me. If I decide to go flying, by
hate
the time I
electric.
start to load my stuff, load the car, get dressed, whatever, half an hour later, before I even move the wheels, my batteries are already charged. So
Well,
I
I
don't.
really hope you put clothes on before you go out in the field.
How long does it take you guys to charge a nice starter?
I tried electric. I don't like it. I'm flying this. You want to fly electric? Knock yourself out.
Yeah, that's all.
I agree. I agree.
Jeff, how long does it
100%,
take you to
Sparky.
charge your nice starter?
Because it's going to be like 4-strokes, a thing of the past.
Well, electric is?
You bet.
Hey,
No.
Steve. Hey, Steve. What's it?
4-strokes was the big deal. Well, 62 pipes, really, but 2 pipes are hung on some. This is nostalgia for me. I don't care.
Hey, Steve. What's a nice starter?
Well, hey, it's a hobby. You fly what you want to fly. But Jeff, I just wanted to say that what you just said. A lot of people assume that that's it. That that it takes weeks of preparation to get ready to go out and fly your electric airplane. In reality, it just ain't so. I mean, just the way Tran was describing, it's pretty much the same thing. I get a call from my buddy Wes. Hey, the weather looks like it's breaking. You want to go fly? Yeah, great. Run up, put the batteries on charge, have a cup of coffee and my oatmeal. And by the time I'm ready to go, the batteries are ready to go. I'm in the car at the field. All right. And then when I'm out there, the other thing is that we each fly, our 4 flights or whatever we're doing, and we're back home quicker because we're not spending any time, pumping and priming and flipping and flopping around and everything like that. Honest to God, it doesn't make any sense to even describe it, but when you're not worried about waiting for engines to cool off and everything like that, you can actually fly a lot faster and get a lot more flights in the same amount of time than you can with IC. It's just the way it works.
Never had that issue.
You guys liked it? Far out. Whatever. I like it.
Exactly. Hey, I said this a couple of years ago, Sparky. I said, I hope, it's a hobby. Everybody flies what they want. I hope everybody I'm competing with is flying IC. All right. I hope they're all flying glow. Right?
Yeah.
That's an equal opportunity offender. So
You remember when the 4 strokes was the big deal? Paul Walker was flying 4 strokes, and I mean everybody had a
yeah.
big boat anchor sinker in the nose. That didn't last long.
Yeah, he
No,
went
I think
to electric afterwards.
I think the 4 strokes were. I still think the 4 strokes are an interesting, alternative. I've seen the ones that like, what was his name from Oklahoma? Bob. Help me out. Bob Reese. Yeah, the guy they flew the last team trials in his backyard.
Bob Reeves.
Yeah. All right. He had some wonderful running engines and everything like that. I think that one thing that a lot of people weren't prepared for with 4 strokes was that structurally that one power burst every 2 revolutions of the prop was a lot stronger than what they're used to seeing. And the engines were physically tough on airframes. All right.
Yeah.
I think that the engines I saw enough of them to know that they were consistent. All right. Now, like you, I know you've been all over the map on this too, but I could never see myself flying a tuned pipe. And I don't know, there's a lot of people here who just, they're too much motorheads. I don't have time for that. So, and it doesn't mean that I'm trying to impose my will on anybody else. If anybody else can handle it, they're good at it. Well, my God, Sparky, you're a Harley man and everything like that. I mean, it's in your veins to be, you're in tune with engines that are, sparking and burning and everything like that. That's what you understand, and you can tell in a heartbeat whether the thing is running right or not running right, and probably have a pretty good inclination of what it takes to fix it if it is working. And as a result, your stuff works great. Hey, I'm happy for you. I know how hard you tried with your electrics. You built a boatload of them and everything like that. It's not like you just, you didn't just push them aside. You tried it, you didn't like it, and you went back. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, same with tuned pipes. I had a bunch of tuned pipe airplanes. I'm back to the old 60s again.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's it. And,
Of course, yeah.
Life is far too short to be judgmental about things like that. So I don't worry about it. So I'm happy as heck that I enjoy what I'm doing. When I stop enjoying it, I'll do something else. That's all.
They said the Super Tiger 60, you can't compete with it. Well, I think there was one in the top 5 at the Worlds this year, Super Tiger, or the last round. So
my biggest problem with running a Super Tiger 60 is it hasn't been made in 25 years.
Yeah,
it is a problem.
I mean, it's just awfully hard for me to set up on something that I can't even, that I got to be on the lookout for backups and everything like that. I can't do that. That's why I stopped running OS 35s, even then when I was, running them strong and had them run better than anybody. They were also out of production. All right.
This engine in this airplane came from Jeff, but it's brand new. It's got a Brian Gardner ABC liner, brand new bearing.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's that new case you got from me?
Yep.
Holy cow. I thought that thing was a paperweight.
No.
Nothing wrong with it. Well, compared to a Fox 35.
No, yeah. I did get a killer Fox 35 for that.
Yeah, well, good. You guys both made out all right. That's the way I think it should be.
Basically, this was a parts motor, but I knew what I was going to do with it anyway.
And then Sparky sent me a Fox 35 that runs like incredible.
Mm-hmm. No, man, that's great. Sparky, I didn't ask you why did you quit or something like that. I was just curious why. I'm not pushing you to do anything.
I don't like them. I just don't like them.
That's
fine. I don't like the tuned pipe either.
Sure, yeah.
I agree with you, Sparky. I don't like tuned pipes. Tuned pipes, they run too many RPM, and it seems like it's straining the motor.
I can feel that battery in the nose. It's like if I took a red brick and zip tied it to the nose of this, I could feel it. I could feel that battery, and I don't like it.
Amen, my brother. Love it. I love that.
Basically, you want to stay with, the engineering from the Super Tiger. They make Stalkers. It's the same motor. loop scavenge motor, and it's the same thing. So they still make them.
What is it? What is the engine that Tom Dixon imports? Stalker?
Yeah.
He does Stalkers. He used to do the double stars, but now he's doing Stalkers.
Yeah, that sounds right. Double star.
Lumber.
I think the stuff that Tom's bringing in is pretty doggone nice. They seem to work well and stuff like that.
The deal with the Stalker motors is you have to run them on 0 nitro. They don't really like running on standard nitro fuel.
Well, that's not a negative in my mind. You know, I keep hearing stories that the nitro, the modern formulation of the nitro we have is different than the nitro used to be, 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, but
and frankly, if you can get away without running nitro, it sounds like you're getting rid of a variable. So
the thing is, go to your hobby shop and try to find fuel that has no nitro in it.
I don't know. Most of the stunt flyers I know, they don't buy their fuel at the local hobby shop anyway. They end up buying it either in a case from a customer or something like that.
Peter, I got a question. Before you go down the street in Los Angeles and see where's a hobby shop.
Yeah.
There isn't one.
Well, if you're going to mix your own fuel, it's a whole lot easier to mix non-nitro fuel.
Yeah.
True, but I'm not mixing my own fuel. I'll drive and find someplace that's got SIG.
But SIG makes no nitro fuel.
Oh, good.
Oh, hell yeah. They supply, it depends on which manufacturer. Here a couple of years ago, they supplied all the racing fuel and everything like that was no nitro.
Will SIG ship it?
I think Dixon has said that he's bought that from SIG in bulk too, because he's personally running no nitro and he's encouraging his customers to run no nitro, and he was getting SIG no nitro in part because nitro was hard. They had a nitro shortage or something like that. They couldn't send any without with nitro. So
no nitro.
They were happy as heck. They were happy.
Drag racing would be
one at a time, you guys. You guys slow down. You guys slow down. One at a time.
Well, where's the fun in that?
Go ahead, Sparky.
No nitro fuel can be bought at Lowe's Hardware. You just go down and buy a gallon of methanol and a chainsaw, pour it in there and go.
Okay, Sparky, let me ask you a question. Where do you buy your fuel?
Make it.
Where do you make your nitro? How much?
2 gallons I got from Steve.
Okay, can you buy? Well, I think the only option I got.
Yeah, the last one, but I can't get it anymore.
You can get it here, or you can get it in Dayton, no problem.
Well, my sister-in-law lives in Cuyahoga, and they have a hot rod shop right outside of town where they can get nitro, but I can't get it here in LA.
I tell you what,
drag strip.
I'll tell you one thing.
You know what? You're right. I could probably get it in Palmdale.
Herein is the best positive for flying electric. You don't have to worry about making your own fuel.
Here's the best positive about electric.
You guys, I got some house cleaning. Hang on. Philip Bailey, actually, Eddie Sutter says, I thought this was a control line forum, not electric versus IC. And then Philip Bailey says, add 2 to 3 head gaskets, and your stalker runs just like a Tiger. And then, hi, Tim. Tim Redelman says, Merry Christmas, boys.
Merry Christmas, Tim, wherever you are.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Now, you guys, I actually make my own fuel. It's no nitro, and I buy a 5-gallon jug of methanol, and then I can get all the oil I want. So I usually get, now for my stalkers, they don't like castor either. So they don't like nitro, and they don't like castor. So I get synthetic from Klotz, and that's how I do it. And I don't have to add head shims and all that. And I prefer it because I can do the pattern on 4 ounces of fuel. And we're talking about a Stalker 81. So it's really economical for me to do it that way.
I think that's why I fly Fox motors, because I can fly the whole pattern on 3.5 ounces.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just think that's a 35, and Charles is flying an 80.
81.
Yeah,
81.
but he's also standing in the middle of the circle on his heels, and I'm not.
My Strega does not pull that bad. It really doesn't. It's surprisingly how comfortable it is. I mean, it's
You can
compared
trim.
to a Ringmaster, no, it's pulling, but compared to a classic ship like like a regular classic, like a Nobler, it's pulling a little bit more than a Nobler. It's very comfortable. I mean, I just adjust the lead out rake and
You
the
trim it out.
and I take out the pull. It doesn't have to pull my arm off.
My last Nobler,
Pull my arm off, I retrim the plane so that it doesn't, because it's not enjoyable. To go out there and fly.
Yeah, holding on two hands.
Yeah,
my
can't be
last
precise. I can't be precise if the plane's pulling my arm off.
my last Nobler, I flew with 2 fingers.
Yeah.
No,
But you can fly all the planes like that, right, Jeff?
surprises no one.
Next time, try a handle with lines. You can get the airplane further away from you.
That might work.
That's it.
I got some more housekeeping. Montana Farmer, he says Brian's went out of business. I think he's talking about Brian's Fuel. They went out of business last he heard. I've heard
Byron?
I
Was
think
that
that's
Byron?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But now
Well, over the years, we've had different fuel suppliers, and we remember some of the old ones fondly. Everybody talk about Power Mist and Kessler 39 and K&B 100, which I used for so many years, and Fox Super Fuel and everything like that. I'll be naive and optimistic, and maybe Pollyanna, say, you know what? As long as there's a few of us, there's going to be somebody going to be willing to supply fuels for us.
right.
And and it may not be the same fuel as we're running today, but we'll have engines and everything like that, and protocols that help us use it. That's all. We'll handle it.
Hey, Jeff,
Casper was king, and that's just not the case anymore. Well, let's go on to something else. So
Well, they're supposed to start maybe making Fox fuel again.
Ooh,
I doubt if they make missile mist and stuff, but
Jeff, you can get nitro. I called up VP Racing Fuels, and they'll sell you a 50-50 mix, 50% nitro, 50% methanol, 5-gallon jug for about $160, I think.
Actually, I got
that's not bad.
I got it for less than that. I got 1 gallon for $10.
Wow.
It was mostly methanol and a little bit of nitromethane, and I had to put my own caster in it to make a gallon of fuel. But I have a friend that's not too far away that works for VP.
Okay, cool. When I come visit you, hook me up, and we can go get some nitromethane or nitro or
How
something.
many gallons? How many? All you need to do is tell me how many gallons you want.
I'll take a 5-gallon pail.
And no, okay. I'll see if I can work that out.
Power mix 50-to-1 nitro for $71.92 a gallon. Didn't take long to find it. All you have to do is type it into Google.
who is that? Who makes it?
VP. Vector Sol.
It's a 50-50 blend for $70.
50-to-1, it says.
VP is the guy that lives down the street from me that sells it. He's got it on the back of his truck.
That'd be expensive ass nitro.
Here's Klotz for it's 91.45. Klotz, no, that's Klotz oil.
Yeah, Klotz doesn't sell nitro online.
Well, luckily, I'm friends with the guy down the street from me that's got the VP truck. It cost me $15.
Very good. I'll hook you. Bet we'll get together. Plus, we got to do that trade with the.
No, I still got your stand going on.
Well, you need to go to a drag race where they have a nationals event, and they're running funny cars or whatever.
Yeah.
You go up there to somebody who's not real well known, and they will sell you nitro. Because they're working on a shoestring of a budget.
That's only because they need the money to make their ends meet.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's how some of my friends get it.
Okay.
Sure.
Once a year they have the nationals there. They bring jugs and they go in there and they'll find somebody that will pump out some of their nitro.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't make it to the final. If they're out in the first round and they don't need all that nitro they have with them, they'll sell it.
All right.
When I was ratting the
There's no
boat,
nationals down here in San Diego.
Klotz does sell nitromethane. Here it is. It's called Hydrate Racing. Yeah. Let's see, is that nitromethane? But that's $60 a gallon.
that's nitro.
Let's see what you could buy a 55-gallon drum for $775.
How much is it for a pint?
Or the 8-pack for $5,660.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got some more house cleaning, you guys. Let me catch up on my chats. Montana Farmer says, I used to run Power 5% nitro. Can't find it anymore. VP Power Master is great fuel also. And then Philip Bailey says, electric, tune pipe, muffler, or 4-stroke. There is room in this hobby for everyone.
Yes, there is.
Philip Bailey has got to be the smartest person on the face of this earth.
And hi, Robert. Welcome. Merry Christmas.
You know,
Hi there.
all I can say is my new electric airplane is going to have. I'm going to have a piece of wood in the bypasses, so it doesn't burp, and I'm going to have a tune pipe behind it. And people are going to look at that and they're going to say, "What in the heck did he do that for?" You know.
Sparky, you move it like this.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
A hybrid.
Hybrid, yeah.
There was somebody at the Toledo show, like about 1965 or so, showed up with a Fox 40 rat race. And remember the old Foxes used to have that really big boss in the middle of the back plate for the pressure fitting? Well, this guy drilled it out and he put a glow plug in it. All right. And he said, well, the old Fox is so weak, it needs one plug to blow the piston down and the other plug to blow the piston back up. And that wasn't the whole story is when he took the engine up and showed it to Duke Fox. All right. He was trying to explain his hop up on that, and the look on Duke's face was priceless. But anyhow.
I'll tell you what, though, if you could get a guy to go, if you could get somebody to go in, a bunch of people on that drum of nitro for $750, that's only $15 a gallon.
Here's Torco Racing Nitro, 42 gallons for $1,300.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why you say 5-gallon drum.
No nitro is sounding better and better every minute. But, I know.
No kidding.
Now my brother he was when we had an insider there at Horizon Hobby, Pete Bergstrom. He used to work he's the one responsible for bringing out the small Evo glow motors, the 36, the 40, and later the 61, the small key 61. And Pete was working with my brother. They actually had an Evo 61 running on E85. All right.
NASCAR fuel.
A glow engine running on E85, and it ran really nice, and it was a one of a kind. And Pete left Horizon not too long after that, and Horizon just kind of pushed all the glow stuff to the side, and that was the end of that whole thing. But there's some undiscovered territory there that I think somebody is gonna discover.
Well, we started running nitro on Samantha's Electric. We went from 4-cell to 6-cell.
Yeah, well, that's it.
You went from a red brick to a cinder block. Cool.
Amen, brother.
Dennis, I got a question on that 61 Evolution. How did it work out?
They just had the one engine running, and they proved that it would work. And like I said, that was about the time Horizon. Pete left Horizon, and there was nobody to back it up anymore. There was no more interest in it, and so The engine is actually, I think, still sitting in my brother's airplane. It was the last IT airplane he was flying, and it's still sitting in his basement. But
yeah, I just curious because I picked one up on spec, pretty cheap, brand new in the box, you know, with everything. It's an RC one, but conversion's no big deal.
Yeah, the 61 is a nice running engine on normal glow and everything like that. It runs very much, handles very much like the Tiger 60. But again, the problem is that they made a limited number of them. I don't believe they make them anymore. So,
what does a Tiger 60 weigh? About 12 ounces.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that weighs the same thing as the brick.
Not
Yeah,
the same as a
plus
small
6
block
ounces
Chevy.
for the motor.
Huh?
Plus 6 ounces for the motor, so you got
Yeah, plus 8 ounces.
It's 18 ounces on the end of the stick.
Plus 6 ounces of fuel, which weighs 6 ounces. It weighs the same.
At the end of the pattern, I'm out of gas with the same performance, and you're out of gas with the same weight. So
no, those electrons are heavier than you would think.
Oh, come on, Dennis. Really?
Yeah.
I want to share something with you guys.
All right.
No.
It's a little bit of a follow-up. Do you remember when I showed you how I mold my shells with a lamination of 2 layers together?
Yeah. It was a couple
This
of weeks
was
ago.
what, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago. Well,
Yeah.
this is the piece I made a couple of weeks ago. As you can see,
Looks very nice.
it never changes shape.
That's great. Yeah.
It's still in the same exact shape that was back then.
Wow.
Turn it end for end. Did you get a 3-dimensional curl on that end, on the front end of that? Turn it in for. I want to see the other. Yeah, you got.
of it.
Okay.
How come it's lumpy?
So you're actually able to mold it around, and that's the end that you did. You cut the little fingers in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That worked very, very nice for you.
Yeah, but it never changes shape. It's still steady. It's not. It doesn't want to flatten out or do anything. This is a very stable structure.
Yeah.
If you do in a single sheet, we can do a test. We can do a single sheet of 330 seconds, and I guarantee you, in 2 weeks' time, it's going to come back. It's going to move back out.
that way is better. That's the same as done on this airplane here. 2 pieces laminated together.
Yes, yeah, because they maintain their shape and they don't do a starving horse in time or something like that, because they just, and you can even, you could even go even further than that, just to make 2 long shells front to back, and just have 2 shells, and you have your fuselage done. Boom. Anyways, that's what I want to share. That's all.
Hey,
That's good.
That's good.
Happy story.
What the hell? I see something Peter's trying to show, but I don't know what it
Oh,
was.
okay. This was my Christmas present right here.
Hang on, Peter.
Oh. No.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you mentioned you got some VF.
All
Is that a
right.
40 or a 46?
That's an OS 40 VF
Okay.
that I picked up on eBay. It was under $100.
Very nice.
And what I found when I took it apart, let me get the piston
go.
liner. There, you see that?
Oh boy.
That's what the liner looked like.
Wow.
So,
That doesn't look too good, Peter.
that's okay, for the simple reason is that hold on a second, let me just why am I okay, wrong screen.
Is that a chrome cylinder sleeve?
The VF is a ABC.
Well, wasn't the VF one of those ABNs, the nitrided cylinders?
Yes.
Or a brass cylinder, right?
That's a chrome cylinder.
Yeah. Okay.
And what you saw there was the brass. Right there.
I
I would rather.
think or after the back in the day, real chrome. That was before.
Okay.
What's that noise?
Rid of this
Bad music.
New
Okay.
rock band.
What it is it was on the motor was under $100. It was like, $80. So I figured, and it came with the header, which was more important than anything else. But I was
Yeah.
kind of expecting it wasn't going to be prime. But Randy has got ABC pistons and liners and the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to just send it off to him and have the engine rebuilt, and they'll have a 40 VF for
$300.
no, it won't be quite that.
No.
It'll be close.
I was curious, right? Now, Randy builds his top ends are actually AAC, aren't they? Is that what he's going to put in it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you score a nice little weight reduction that way.
And I recall the last 40 VF on eBay. Typically, it went for over $200. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then again, you could just build a smaller plane and just fly it with a Fox 35, and who cares? You're just in it for fun anyway, right?
Yeah. And he
From
put
what
in.
I remember, the 40 VF and the 46 VF, they come 40 and 46 VF, they were in the same casing. The only difference was the piston and the cylinder. So if you send that casing to Randy, he could probably just make it a 46 for you.
Yeah.
And
there's the 40 and the 46, so they're basically the same.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, maybe Randy, instead of putting a 40 guts into your 40, you can put a 46.
I would, except from what I've been doing some research, and the 46 actually is more the 46 with the for the control line timing and the piston and cylinder. It's a little more how would I say twitchy. It's not as it's a little more touchy than the 40 VF for some reason.
Well,
Yeah,
once
probably
again,
not
if you're talking about redoing it with Randy's setup and everything like that, it's not going to be an OS setup. All right. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you're going to be in new territory anyway. And Randy's made his mark in supplying control line engines, stunt engines that run really well. So no matter what you get from Randy, it's probably going to be different and better tuned for the job than the stock OS was anyway. So
yeah.
Hey, I'm the electric guy. Can you believe what I just said?
Yeah. And it's still in your blood, man. Still in your blood.
No. Honestly, I have more than a handful of engines laying around, and there's maybe a handful I'd like to save and maybe put on a shelf somewhere, but honestly, nothing I have is competitive, and I don't know, there's just so many paperweights, so.
Wow.
So busting into the spirit.
I can barely hear you, Robert. Can you speak up or move your mic closer?
If I can bust into. Sure. Yeah, if I can bust into the spirit of Christmas here a bit.
All right.
First off, I want to talk about my dad a little bit. Before that, I want to ask Sparky how his dad's doing. You heard anything new?
I just talked to him tonight, and he's not doing too well. He doesn't think he's going to make it.
What's wrong with him, Sparky?
He's old, man. He's at the end of the rope.
I didn't know if he had a certain disease or whatever, or just old.
No, he's 98 on January 20th.
Wow.
And he had something wrong with his tooth, and they went and did a root canal, and he hasn't recovered from that for the last 3 weeks, so he's kind of weak. So, I don't know. He didn't sound good when I talked to him, but at least I got to talk to him and wish him a Merry Christmas.
Like I said on my post to you on the forum there, Sparky, our best prayers and wishes for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And we're kind of going through a bit of that with my dad. He's not quite as old, but his is more mental. Physically, he's kind of doing okay. He's 91. got me into flying. You know, he started out as an air cadet in 1948. 1950, he got his pilot's license on an Aeromodeling champion. And back in the early 70s, he lost his logbooks, hadn't flown because he had us kids and all. But he never forgot about flying, always encouraged me, and I joined Air Cadets and later on got my, for you who don't know, in the States, Royal Canadian Air Cadets is a program kind of a little bit like your Civil Air Patrol, but it carries you through to full licenses and everything for it. So I got 2 of my pilot licenses through that and a couple other scholarships on flying. So it's a wonderful program. Anyway, Dad went through it way back when in the early days and got his license on a champ. And around about 73, 74, knew about all this, and I talked to him, and he'd lost his logbooks and kind of forgot what the registration was or color of the airplanes and stuff, but it didn't matter. So I picked up a Gillows Aeromodeling champ kit, stick and tissue, just to build for him, and put an 020 on it. Never flew it, but thankfully, because I built a fuselage, it's really crappy. But anyway, right now, his dementia is getting really bad, and he can't remember jack shit. And so my sister and I were talking about things that does it, and he always liked pets too. So he's in a care home, which is taking good care of him, mind you. They haven't had a single case of COVID or anything there. But anyway, she got him one of these fake cats that kind of lays there and breathes and purrs all the time, and he actually got quite a giggle out of that. It comforted him some. But then I took that old Gillows beat up thing that the tissue all rotted away and it had been beat up over the years and built it crappy to start with. So I started in on rebuilding it. And I ran out of time today. I didn't get it quite finished, but I got it mostly done. And I took it in for him. And he immediately recognized it as something from his past. And we talked about it, and it brought back all kinds of memories. And it was just a wonderful time today. Just absolutely fantastic, thanks to Model Aviation. So what I did was I painted it up in colors in Monocoat that I had so it'll stand up in his room. We're going to hang it from the ceiling. And nice. Basically it's just a little, I didn't get the cowl finished or the did it all up, and we didn't know a registration, so I did his initials. In Canada we use letters all the way, so it's his name is Frederick William Whitley, so I did FWM for his or FMW for his FWW, I should say, for his registration, and he recognized that and everything. And then that started ticking memories. And he asked about LJX. Well, that's an airplane we used to own in the family. That was a Taylorcraft. And he was all thrilled about that. And then he said there was something else, wasn't there? And he says, yeah, there was XLH or Citabria. And, you know, this little model airplane from the past, he kind of remembered it from back then. And it's really bringing back a lot of memories now. So thanks to everybody in model aviation for the inspiration for people throughout their life to associate with it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really making a difference.
Did they
in an old man's heart right now?
Did that new Alzheimer's there in Canada?
So. Well, pardon me, Steve, I couldn't quite hear that.
Did they okay that new Alzheimer dementia drug there in Canada?
I don't know about that. We've been focused more on the COVID stuff. And like I said, in his home, nobody's gotten it at all, other residents. But the Alzheimer's, dementia stuff, I'm not sure of right now. We've been kind of focused more on COVID and, you know, being barred from the place and everything.
I see it, Pat.
Oops. Steve froze.
No,
it got 3.
Thank goodness.
Anyways, I got some housekeeping.
And they say it's a lot of number.
Hey, Steve, you have a low radio
Low
signal.
bandwidth.
Well, let me do some housekeeping. Maybe your signal will improve. Just hang on tight. Jack Snavely, hey, Merry Christmas, Jack. He says hello to all the hangar and shop and all around the world, and he has a lot of emojis, thumbs up and airplanes and a world. And so thank you, Jack Snavely. Hey, Robert, I wanted to say something earlier. I know you brought up a question about the Evolution 61. I actually have one. I haven't ran mine yet, but I've seen another one run, and they run really nice. Now, I have a friend, Walter Hicks. Merry Christmas to you, Walter Hicks. He said the secret to the Evolution 91 was to run all synthetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 61.
Yeah, and the 61, run all synthetic. And then you'll have no problem.
Well, they run so
Okay,
good.
a follow-up to it is the
TB. I thought he was running a Super Tiger 60, and then come to find out it was a Evo 61. So they run good.
Take a long time to break in. That's like everybody gives up on the 36, but if you run a few gallons of fuel through it, 5 or 6 gallons, them things come in and they're beautiful.
Now a follow-up question on a different engine. I'm kind of curious about the OS 76 AX. I have a 65 AX, but I've never actually flown it. Now the 76 AX or 75, whatever it is. Anybody ever have anything to do with that engine? Because I'm kind of wondering about it. Because it's so expensive to get a Jet 76, or almost impossible to get a PA 75 from Al Raby Sea Fury. And I'm just kind of curious if this, I don't fly extra.
Weigh about 20 some ounces. It'll be way too heavy. But yes, they run real well. Oh yeah, they run well, and a bunch of my friends have them in their RC airplanes. But they're made on. I mean, if you know what like that 65 is that case, the 75 is the next case up that they made the 90 and stuff out of. It's heavy.
Okay, so compared to a Jet 76 or a PA 75, it's probably just too damn heavy then, eh?
Yeah, it's going to weigh 8 ounces more.
I would just
spend the extra.
Just order motors from Control Line Parts. You can get the stalker. You can get all the stalkers on Control Line Parts.
Merry Christmas. See you guys next year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Sparky. Beautiful
Merry
plane.
Christmas, Sparky. Good to see you again.
Take care, Sparky, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Sparky.
With that in mind, I'm tired, guys. I'm going to call it off tonight.
Hey, good night. Thanks, Ryan.
Merry Christmas, Trey.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas, Ryan.
I should say, woo! All right.
I wonder what he has to do tonight.
Yeah. Let's see.
Right, Robert, like I was saying, you can get all the motors, and the guy's really good. I've had problems with my actually, I think it's K77s he sells on Control Line Parts, or is it the Stalker? Maybe it's the Stalker. Great support. Any issues I've had, he's taken care of me. He even gave me a free rear cover plate on my new Stalker 81.
I remember you posting about that or talking about it. Yeah. That might be a good way to go because, between the non-availability of the PA, the cost of the 76, and my lack of experience level, I'll never be expert. And so for that, like a Sea Fury, Al built it around a 60 Super Tiger that was kind of hopped up with extra cooling fins and shit, and he burned them out every 50 flights. He won the Nats and the Walker Cup with it twice. With that engine, the Stalker would probably do just bloody fine in it for a guy like me.
How much is the thing going to weigh?
I think my Stalker 81 the muffler is about 13 ounces.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Charles, is the Stalker a side exhaust or rear exhaust?
It comes both ways. The 81 that I have only comes rear exhaust.
Okay, and is it does it have a tuned exhaust port so it can run with a tuned pipe, or is it run with a straight muffler?
Yeah, how the way the crankcase is at the exhaust port, it would take you'd have to have a custom made header. It's not like the K77. You can take a header off of a PA motor or off of the OS Max VF. You can use those same headers on the K77s. I mean, if you have to, I mean, you might have to use a file, just a file a little bit, but you can get those headers.
Okay. Yeah, what I was getting at is that a true tuned pipe engine has an exhaust port that's timed differently, so it can so that the pipe can charge the cylinder. That's where the tuning comes from, and I know a lot of them don't have that.
Yeah.
They're happy running with either a pipe or a muffler. That's all. Well, you don't have. The point of it is you don't have to have a tuned pipe. You could run a normal short muffler or something like that behind it. Right. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, the Stalker 81 runs fantastic with just the muffler that it comes with.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people who have heard my plane and they've asked, "What motor is that? It sounds awesome." You know, I had Steve Yaplensley. He was out here visiting, and when he heard my Stalker, he was like, "Oh, so excited." Because it sounds like a 4-stroke. I mean, it's really quiet. It's a little bit louder than electric. Super quiet because it's such a deep sound that, you know, the sound just falls away into it just falls away. You can barely hear it. And then power. I mean, it turns a 13 9-inch prop, 3-blade. And it's just like this chugging along.
A 9 pitch? Wow. You're running at what, around 7,500 RPM then, or how slow? What kind of RPM setting do you use?
I think Charles froze up.
Charles just kicked off.
Rats. Yeah, he's got a gray bar here. That's too bad.
Hopefully he comes back on soon. I want to get the contact info for this for Stalker from him.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Stalkers, though, they're pretty expensive. Stalkers are up there. The bigger ones are up there at the price of road jets and stuff.
So why would you buy one?
Yeah,
I'd buy a road jet first.
Well, I think the thing is too is price is one thing, but price and can you actually get it?
Yeah.
And if you can actually get the Stalker 77 or 81 or whatever, that's huge. Yeah, the price will be
used PA 75 is $600 dollars because the guy up here just sold one down to a guy in the States for $600 US plus whatever shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not free no
That's
matter what you get.
Well, and basically they're not made anymore. So what there is out there, that's what there is, and you're buying something from somebody else, and for whatever the market will bear.
It's like
and Bub paid $600 US, I think it was $500 US, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's $650-$700 for a Jet 76. So whatever, I'm that price, I'm gonna have to spend it.
A road jet 76 you can still get for I think 300 and something.
Yeah.
If you find one, Steve.
Yep.
Dan,
I don't know.
if you find one, send me the info and I'll buy the damn thing right now.
You just get on
because I sure as hell haven't found
one. All righty.
Hey, he's
back.
I've got a price list somewhere.
Get on the Roadjet website.
Yeah.
And then you can email them or whatever, or get on the Jet website and email him and but they have them all in stock. That's what, when I was there.
Yeah, I know they do, but they're like, it was $540 US that I was quoted a year ago for one from them. From that site.
I mean, from Dub?
From Jet. Yeah, from Dub Jet. Yeah, that's the price.
Just keep it cheap and buy a Fox.
$540 US for me to buy it. So that's like $675, just about $700 my dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it cheap and buy a Fox.
Back.
You can buy a Fox off eBay.
So that's
for
why I'm kind of wondering
$35.
about. I have about 6 or 7 Fox 35s, but I don't think they'll pull a L Raby Sea Fury through the sky, unfortunately.
Oh, hey,
Maybe if I made it a
plane.
3 engine.
All right, so the
we got-
Aerojet 61 cast is 325. The 61 BSC is 375. The 67.
Yeah.
I can't tell what the 67 is.
Too much money.
Yeah,
This
the
was supposed to
last
be a-
I knew, they weren't that expensive.
Okay, so the 67 is 400 and the 76 BSC is 400.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think they went up that much.
Okay.
That's the last price
Okay,
list
so
I got
that's
from him, and that was
come down a
like
little
just a
bit.
couple months ago.
That might have come down a bit then, because a little over a year ago when I called them, it was around the 500 mark for the 76.
Okay, let me ask a question.
So that might be getting more tolerable.
Let me ask a question. Where did the fun go in this? Why are we so infused on let's get the biggest and the best? Why don't we just go out and have fun?
Well, sometimes
bigger motor-
My
having
idea-
the best is the most fun, you know. So
The bigger
Biggest
motor
and the
gives you
best is
a
the most
much
fun.
broader power wave. So I mean, you can miss the needle and still do the pattern. It was a powerful motor. I mean, my stock 81, it has a wide needle. It's really easy, and I can miss it and still have a nice pattern. And that's
Yeah,
what
but
the
you-
big motors give you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the Chipmunk. I have an OS 35S on it, and it's a lot of fun. The plane feels extremely light. I thought it was lighter than it is, but it weighs 41 ounces, 41.6 ounces.
Okay, something I was taught a long time ago when I was talking to Tom Warden and Bill Noyes is do not overthink it. Build an airplane, put a motor in it, and fly it. Learn to overfly the problems.
Yeah.
Then you're what's considered a pilot.
Okay, if I can get back to the Al Raby Sea Fury.
Well,
the
then
reason
just
for
build an
that
airplane wing to overcome the. I just
that particular
go fuselage and don't worry about nothing else. Get your motor and stuff, and there you go.
Knock it out. There you go.
Overcome
Get
the
back
problem.
to Jet 76. If I may.
Well, maybe Sea Fury is a big airplane.
Getting back to the Jet 76, the reason for that is that was recommended by Al to me when I talked to him. The only reason I'm doing, well, I haven't started on it yet because I got way too many projects, but the only reason I'm accumulating everything for my Hawker Sea Fury is because that airplane made a monumental difference in my life. When I first started flying models, building models, I hadn't seen a model airplane. I never saw a plastic one or anything. I got a Goldberg Cosmic Wind in the box for Christmas in 1971. Got a Fox 35 for it. I built the damn thing without another modeler around me and learned to fly on it. It looked like crap, but you know what? I learned to fly it. I got a subscription to Model Airplane News. A few months later, there was an article about Al Raby's Sea Fury winning the Nats and the Walker Cup. That inspired me because that airplane just hit me as the most gorgeous thing on the planet. I was obsessed with studying aeronautics, aerodynamics, engines, drafting. I taught myself drafting off of model airplanes. When I went through cabinet making school on drafting courses, right off the bat, the guy said, "Don't bother showing up for the classes. I mean, except for exams, because I can't teach you anything at this level." Because what I'd learned was model airplane plans, and apparently the ones I copied were pretty damn good. And I bought myself a 5-foot Architect's drafting machine in the meantime, with a table with the full machine, which I have in the background here somewhere.
Yeah, plotter.
And anyway, yeah, plotter. Anyway, model airplanes taught me that. They taught me the aerodynamics, and they inspired me. Al Raby inspired me about the research on the engines and the aerodynamics, with him running his pickup truck up and down the Texas country roads at speed at night so he wouldn't get busted on doing airfoil tests. All of this, I just learned so freaking much from it, was unreal. And I desired all my life since. Now, this got me basically 3 of my careers, which was cabinet making. I did auto body and engine work, and I'm a flight instructor. And I owe it all, really, to getting that model airplane kit in 1971.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I didn't get a plastic Cox PT-19 piece of crap. To this day, I'm proud to say I've never owned a plastic airplane that I've flown. I own 2 of them, but I only bought them as classroom training aids for students in my flight instruction. Anyway, Al, his inspiration was monumental in my life. And I always wanted to build a Sea Fury. And it looked like Walt was going to be shutting down everything, maybe permanent, we didn't know, back when he moved from Florida. So I got in one of the very last orders from him before he moved, and he busted his ass to get me that Sea Fury kit. It's gorgeous. Nice. Now I'm trying to get the contract also to finish it, but he got it to me in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And kudos to him. And it's destined to be. I got to build that Sea Fury to the best of my ability, and it's going to have an engine worthy of it. I'm not going to put a compromise in it. But up till I was talking to you tonight, Charles, we chatted about a bit one other night. The JAT or the PA was, kind of the recommendations of choice, but that Stalker sounds pretty good too. Any of them would work for, I'll never be at the expert level. I just don't.
I got on Jeff's website.
That airplane.
And with a muffler on the one, it's 3.
We lost Steve.
He just grayed out on us.
Oops.
75. So I know he gets.
Yeah. 5. Okay, that's back into the realm of normalcy. If it's 375, for a hand-built engine that's out of a billet block, I mean, that's pretty cheap, really, in the big picture.
Yeah, it's
the guy's time is worth more than that, I think.
But I know that usually the control line motors are cheaper than the RC because you don't have a carburetor, and they don't come with a muffler, so they're less money.
Yeah. Now, for that engine, I just want the manifold and a muffler. I don't want a tuned pipe on it because a tuned pipe would look like shit stuck into a Sea Fury.
Yeah. Which motor are we talking about?
Extra. Pardon me, Charles?
Which motor is Steve talking about?
That you want a rear exhaust or side exhaust?
I want a rear exhaust 76.
Okay, I got a carbon fiber muffler coming for one. It's on the slow boat from Japan.
Oh, I bet you my tuned pipe is on that same ship. I ordered mine about a month ago, I think.
I ordered mine in March.
Oh no! Oh shucks! I think mine's like a month and a half out.
What it is that he couldn't ship out of Japan because of COVID. Then he finally could, but it had to go by boat, and he said it could take 2 to 3 months to get
here. He told me, yeah.
And it's like, well, hell, since I waited, what, 8-9 months as it is, what's another 3 or 4 months? Plus, I ain't going to be flying right now anyway, so I figure it should get here just about when the snow melts.
Which is
Speaking
about
of
when
snow,
you'll
I
need it.
hear you guys are down there. Steve, have you gotten a bunch of snow down there recently?
We got about an inch last night. We had a white Christmas, the first time in 4 years.
Okay, we got nothing. We were above zero. But down in southern Alberta, they got a big dump. You know, about 200 miles south of us here.
Yeah.
They got a big dump. But they always think about their Chinooks coming off the mountains and it's beautiful all year. Yeah, so we laugh about it. Screw it. Dig yourselves out.
Well, most of the state, did you get any snow at all, Dennis?
We got a little dusting. It just turned really nasty cold. We got
wind blowing.
snow blowing around today, and by the afternoon, it was completely gone. So
yeah, I guess it only snowed about 60 miles in from Lake Michigan, and we got a little bit of it.
Well, you live in the main corridor there, so you get blasted no matter what, right? So
yeah, we're right on the outer edge. It's like it hits super hard next to the lake, and then there's a 30-mile or so place where they don't get all that much. Then it hits us because they said that, and I didn't realize that I live a mile from the highest point in Kent County. And I was watching the news guy, and he says as the storms move in, that the altitude comes up so high, it actually works like a mini mountain. It comes in and dumps right here where we're at.
Yeah, but that's east of the 605, right?
Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes, Steve. Yes.
Yes.
We had 5.
Hey, you guys. It's 9:07, 9:08, midnight, back where you're at, Steve. And this is Christmas, and I'm glad you could come on for a couple hours, and I really appreciate you guys showing up. And we've had as many as 20 concurrent viewers. We only have 8 likes. I wish we get more.
I mashed the like button before I came
I'll give
on.
you another one right now, Charles.
All right,
Tell
thank you very
everybody,
much.
to get on because I'm going to tell my Christmas joke once you go offline.
All right, so you guys, I want to tell you guys that are still out there watching. I mean, we have what I call the after party, and I'm telling you, you know, we have a blast. Tonight's Christmas, so it should be good. And you want to come in live so you can get the link to come in and then watch the show and then come join the after party. You don't want to miss out on the after party. I mean, the tip that Tryon talked about with the lines to get the 45 degrees, we talked about that in the after party. So don't forget, now to get in there, you need to come in around 6:45 Pacific time, see the link to come into the show. If you're watching the replay, you're totally toast. There's no way you can get into the after party. So you're going to miss out the real shindig. You're going to miss out. So, but I want to thank the guys in the chat. We had Philip Bailey, Ed Suter, Tim Redelman, Montana Farmer, Philip Bailey,
Easter eggs,
Jack Navley, and Craig. Craig, thank you so much with that super chat. That is awesome. That was my first one. Hopefully my first of many. And thank you very much, you guys, for showing up. Wouldn't be a show without you. And want to give you guys a going away. I'll see you guys. Merry Christmas. And we will see you next time. Let me get ready to end this stream here. Hang on.
Merry Christmas, friends.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, YouTubers.
Goodbye.